Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in. This is Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 252. Your driving force. Welcome to the main event.
It's the Success Sensei podcast main event.
Your driving force. It is very important to establish what it is that drives you. It's very easy when you're winning. When you're winning, life is great. Everything is great. You don't necessarily even need to have a strong driving force when you're winning because you've got immense momentum behind you. It's handy if you know so that you're going the right direction. But when you really need to establish what it is that motivates you, what it is that gets you up in the morning, why you do the things that you do, why you are who you are, it's very important to establish your driving force, especially when things are not going well, when you're losing, when things are hard, when you're frustrated, when you're facing a lot of difficulty. That is when your driving force will carry you on and prevent you from giving up and give you the motivation to keep striving forward, to keep on your path and to keep working towards your goals. So a lot of people talk about, finding your true north and, finding your why. And I think can be packaged in a way that can be very off-putting. But you do have to figure yourself out. You do have to know who you are. You do have to find out what motivates you. And you do have to, another one of those cheesy expressions, lean into it. You have to embrace who you are sometimes, whether certain people think it's a negative trait or certain people think, it's a positive trait. Either way, it's up to you to decide. It's up to you to adjust your moral compass and to realize what is correct for you and to decide what your driving force is for you. I don't care if your driving force is a materialistic one or not. That's fine as long as it helps you to achieve, your positive objectives. You could use a negative driving force. You could use a positive driving force. Obviously, if you have a positive driving force that's strong enough to carry you on through the hard times, then that's, optimal. It's better than a negative one. But there's many, many people who have had absolutely fabulous careers based on a negative driving force or a negative experience. I'll give you a quick example. I won't mention any names, but one of the top fighters of all time basically became, a world-renowned fighter. I'm trying to skirt around who the person is without revealing them, but it became a world-class fighter based on an incident that happened when they were only small and they were picked on and bullied and beaten and left beaten in a very bad state to such an extent that they developed agoraphobia, never wanted to leave the home, and, suffered a lot of confidence issues. This person used that as a driving force. Obviously a very negative experience, obviously, with the sole intention of never being in that position again, or feeling like that again, or being in that frame of mind again, and went on, at the time, to be one of the best fighters in the world. Now, that's just an example from the fighting community. Rightly or wrongly, if you were to take away that negative driver, would they become the person that they did become? I don't think so, but I mean, that's up to you to decide. As I said, if you can have a positive driver, that would be preferential than a negative driver, but don't dismiss negative experiences. I can't believe I'm quoting the movie The Pretty Woman, but she goes in to purchase something and she's basically run out of the shop, told that she can't afford it, and she's belittled, and that was a driving force enough for her to go on and to want to return to that shop. Again, rightly or wrongly, morally correct or not, we're not getting into that. We're discussing your driving force, what it is. Maybe have a culmination, maybe have a combination of positive and negative, things that motivate you, things that you aspire to achieve, legacies that you wish to leave, loved ones that you wish to provide for, material possessions that you wish to own, and then maybe also have experiences in your life that you want to rise from, that you don't want to repeat again, whether they're mistakes, whether they are people belittling you, saying negative things about you, whether, it's any type of a negative experience like that. You can absolutely harness the power of that. Knowing yourself and knowing what drives you, knowing what motivates you, makes things a hell of a lot easier when you're trying to really focus on your driving force to help you, as I said, carry on when, the way life is, things don't go your way. I mean, you've absolutely seen that during COVID. Everybody's been shaken up. Everybody's had hardship and frustration. Maybe COVID, the whole COVID experience, the lockdown, the pandemic has helped you decide a little bit more what's important in your life, and maybe you want to go back to the way things were, but that's totally up to you to decide. But as I said, if you haven't established your driving force, if it's not something that you have the confidence you can rely on, when you do face the hardships, and everybody faces hardships, I don't care what walk of life you're from, I don't care, irrelevant the magnitude of those hardships, but everybody faces hardships and problems and frustrations and stress and anxiety and problems and mistakes and difficulty. There's a lot of negativity in that whole sentence there, but everybody experiences. I don't care what economic bracket you're in. I don't care if you're filthy rich or not. You're going to have many difficulties in your life. Some would say more so. Some would say, of a higher magnitude. And it doesn't matter if you have nothing, you're going to face difficulties. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, what you work at. That's why it's very, very important to have and to know yourself and to have your driving force, whatever it is that can help you continue to get up in the morning, continue to give each day your best shot, regardless of the setbacks, regardless of the blows, regardless of the hardship and, the frustration. You might have to do a bit of soul searching. It does help if you can align your goals and your motivations with your personality. There's no point in trying to, force your driving force and attribute it to yourself if your personality is different from what you're trying to set out. For example, if you're not a risk taker, if your natural personality is to avoid risk, and then you try to force a lot of risk in your life, it doesn't make sense. You might look at other people who are very ambitious, and you might look at them with a slight bit of resentment or jealousy and wish the same for you. But if your personality is not strongly ambitious in the same way, then the stress that ambition will bring to your life might not suit who you are, and vice versa. If you're a very ambitious person and you're trying to stay chilled all the time, you're not remaining true to who you are. There are only two simple examples, but you know what I mean. There's no point in going far from, what makes you comfortable and from who you are to establish your driving force. And it is, this is all internal work that everybody has to do together. Yes, you can talk to people about it. You can absolutely message me and you can talk to me and I'll help you through the process. But ultimately, it is something that you're going to have to work on yourself and decide yourself. Nobody can do that work yourself. No one can do that self-reflective work, whether you need to do it via meditation, whether you need to do it, with a pen and paper. That's totally up to you. But nobody can do it for you. But it does help. The earlier you can figure out your driving force, the earlier I think it makes life that little bit easy. As I said, it's easy when you're winning, when things are flowing, when you're having a good day, life is easy. And those days are absolutely great. When there's abundance there, that's absolutely fabulous. But don't think that a day of scarcity won't come. Don't think a setback won't happen. Don't think a negative day won't occur. So, or a problem won't be made, or a mistake won't be made. So make sure that you do prepare. And the way you prepare is to decide and finalize what your driving force is. What is it that's motivating you? What are you working towards? As I said, I don't care if it's a materialistic goal. I don't care if it's a goal to help others, to help yourself, to help your family, to establish something. That's kind of all irrelevant, but the stronger you can make it to yourself, the more powerful your driving force will be. I hope that helps you. I hope it's given you something to think about. Message me anytime through the successsensei.com. Thank you for listening. I'm Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.